This is your greatest superpower in 2025 and beyond. And this is why most people in life have massive success in all areas of life. And it's one word. Not one word. You can't see in here because it's so messed up. You have to use focus. So if I wrote down focus on him, you can't read this. I can barely read it. I'm right next to it because when you have a million things going on in our life, focus is near impossible. And I've learned this from live examples, my own personal business, and own personal life as well, over the past few years. And for context, for watching this, you're new to who I am, Elite Ed Podcast as well. My real estate team had done $1.6 billion in transactions over the past few years. And we got there from being super focused. That is the big determining factor to all things in success. Here's a little secret to you guys, a little honest to God truth that you don't want to hear. There is no magic bullet. There's no secret hack. There's no magic formula out there that will give us the success we want in life other than just focus on what we want to do. That is the biggest secret there is focus. Today, my sister and I went to my contact list for about 30, 45 minutes. That's not fun. It takes deep focus to do that. And by nurturing those leads, my clients, and my social media presence as well, is a real stuff it takes to have massive success. So focus is everything. And this is a live example of how powerful focus is. If I make a line in the middle, and I write down focus, you can probably read it now, can't you? Exactly. This is why focus is so important. And to get focused like this, we have to remove things from our life. If you ask my wife, my team, I am so committed. Is almost the same levels of being focused and having my life as minimal as possible. If I go to my apps on my phone to see social media, I have blockers that won't even allow me to see Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, blogs until a certain time of the day. Even then, it takes me probably like 30 seconds to get on though. So here's the app I have. I'm blocked from Instagram. I can't really access it. For me to access Instagram, I have to go to a different platform, hit unblock for a set amount of time, and then I come to Instagram, it says, is this important or not? I have to wait for a clock down. It takes 30 seconds long to get there. Different context on how important focus is to me and all successful people in the world. Again, I grew up homeless off and on from 12 to 18 with no direction, no focus, and had no hope of having any success. And now I have one of the top teams in real estate across the country. And I got to become super focused on what really, really matters. Nothing else. That's what made me super successful. I focus on my clients, my social media, my marketing, my presence, on data, and things like that as well. Get more and more success. And then Jamie asked a question, what blockers do you use? I have found they aren't super efficient. That is a great question. So I actually use two blockers because one blocker is not enough. And one by itself won't help you. So one I use called Refocus, which is on Apple. And you can just block stuff whenever you want to, called Refocus. And you can set parameters on them. So I can say, from this time to this time, block everything. Or after this meeting opens, block it again. And it will kick me off my app after 5 to 7 minutes. If the other one I use is called Screen Zen. Screen Zen, this is how it looks when you see it. And the same exact concept, but it's the extra layer. So one of them will block it all day long, every single day, and give me a time limit. The other one blocks it to a point where I have to turn off my blocker to use them, which is kind of annoying sometimes. But in the day, my focus to have this clarity It's so important to me that I don't mind doing this. Now, here's a little fun story of how powerful focus is. Two of the richest people to ever lived, which is Warren Buffett is one of them, and also the founder of Apple. These two people had a meeting at one point in time, and they asked them, what is your secret to having huge focus? Without any back and forth, any dialogue, they wrote down a piece of paper the word focus. And that would have made them multi-billionaires. I'm going to break down there this live podcast for you guys, the frameworks I use and multi-millionaires and billionaires use for themselves get more focused to have these kind of clarity looking for right here as fast as possible. Because becoming the top 5-10% is very easy. Top 1%, that's harder. I'm top 0.1% in real estate. That's really hard to get to. You need more than just focus to do that. But the top 5-10% in any area of your life, focus is what it takes to do them. And once you have that focus down, everything is so much easier afterwards. But again, people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, all these super successful people, focus is the biggest things. Now, the first step to getting them is to realize that every single day we see around 6,000 to 10,000 ads per day. Think about that. 6,000 to 10,000 ads per day. Our ancestors never saw this. This is why it's so hard to have focus. Because the way the human brain works, if I am looking at something and I'm focused, but then I go to do an activity, I have to regain my focus again. My focus is lost every switch off. Which is right now, I'm just doing this podcast episode for the Edge podcast. I'm not on my phone, I'm not texting, I'm not talking to my customer success manager or anything else. I'm just looking at my camera and you guys, helping you guys help what I've done in my past for more focus. That's what it really takes. So first things first is realize that we are in a world where your phone, your computer is all designed to give us massive amounts of distractions. So for us to move forward, when we do this, this is how I break down my rule of thumb. One is a detox. Social media detox, I do this all the time, probably heavily, every quarter or so. I do a super deep detox from social media, from screens. Only thing I have, obviously, is my phone. I have clients in real estate that help them do stuff still and do a complete detox in my business. But for a lot of people out there, your businesses do not require you to be on social media and so forth. You need a full-on detox for a day. I'm not saying for a week, not saying for a month. Just try it for a day. See how that feels. And the way to do this, when I do detoxes, I'm going to cut out social media. I'm going to cut out TV. I'm even going to cut out junk food. All these things add up to having us have less and less focus. The secret here is to replace these things with real dopamine. Fake dopamine or cheap dopamine is what makes it so addictive. When I was a kid, I loved playing video games, especially RPGs like Skyrim, Zelda, all these games that had missions and quests and so forth and level ups. My mind was programmed to give super amount of detox or dopamines from doing that. So for us, we want to find different things to replace this with. So the social media, I'm going to replace social media with real connection. So people. If I have TV, I'm going to replace it with a book. I'm not saying to go off into the mountains and be a nomad or a Buddhist. I'm just saying to remove cheap dopamines. And the real easy way to tell if your mind is hijacked by cheap dopamine and by unfocused activities, they try this super easy experiment. I want you to go to a room for 5-10 minutes and pull out any book. This is my book. It's the bestseller on Amazon called Real Estate Secrets. If you cannot read 5-10 pages straight without pulling your phone out, without looking at something else, without getting up, your mind has been hijacked by social media and cheap dopamines. Easy way to tell. I know for myself included, there are days where I can't do this because I've been too wired in to all these cheap dopamines that this is no longer entertaining for me. Again, the easy way to get success in business and anything in life is to remove all things that is cheap dopamines that will make our minds chase real dopamine because it's so bored. Doing business is easy if I had nothing else to do. Talking to my family is easier. Obviously, I love talking every single day, but it's even easier if I'm not on my phone all the time. Junk food, healthy food. So for this, healthy food. And then games. There's real games. The real games is like with chess. It's the real game you play with somebody else. It's interactive and critical thinking. So number one is social media detox, or actually a detox of all things for 24 hours. And pick your day. Find one day you can start doing this with. And if you can't do it, what we'll do instead, make it even easier for you guys, is instead of trying to have your detox be for 24 hours, make it at the end of the day. So my brother and I, we hang out probably once a week or so. And not too long ago, we was playing a game together. But we catch up and we talk about that while we play. And after we got done working or playing the game together, I don't want to work today because my mind had been programmed for cheap dopamines. The rest of the day is offloaded now. My brain's already wired for real cheap dopamines instead. So instead, if you want to still play games, eat junk food, all these things, then make this a 12-hour fast and build up to it. For 12 hours, from when you wake up until you go to bed, in that timeline, remove all these things. And at the end of the day, you can load that on the backside. This strategy works really well. It gives you a balance of having, still these cheap dopamines, but in a more productive way moving forward. So number one is going to be a social media and little like all things detox moving forward. And down below, while I'm getting our next one up for you guys, have you guys done a detox before? And so, what has been your longest you've done? What has been your longest detox you've done from social media or from all things in general? Down below, let's hear your thoughts. Now, next one, number 2. Long walkthrough. Is my favorite thing to do is time blocking. Again, I have a real estate team that has done $1.6 billion transactions. And if you need help, by the way, with buying or selling, we help you in all 50 states in 27 different countries. Down below, send me a DM. Help with that as fast as possible. The best results out of selling or buying. But on a side note, though, my entire team that I have, about 100 plus agents, I teach all of them time blocking. Because to me, it's the most important skill. And for those who are new to time blocking, that's not a problem. It's easy to do. The way I time block is different than other people, but a lot. So one, time blocking is what it sounds like. I block out time for tasks. So if I have a time that I want to do my live podcast, Elite Edge podcast, I will block out a time for that. Today is my time for right now. I blocked off the time, so hey, I'm going live right now for my audience. And I time block that for that task. If I have a block that is for a listing appointment, this is the given. It's time block. I have to be there for an hour or so to walk through our process. Again, our process is the best of the best. I made my clients over $150,000 above asking price by selling the home within 2 days of our process. It takes time to go through that. So I'm time blocking that. But here's the secret though. When I do my time blocking, I do two things differently. One, I write down my entire calendar for the next day before I go to bed at nighttime. So I wake up in the morning, I have complete urgency and no guesswork. This makes a massive difference. I have no guesswork and more urgency. I'm waking up in the morning, I can pull up my iPad or my notepad, either or both. I can see, okay, from 6 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to be doing my morning's jump start. From 7 to 8, I'm reading and everything else. From 8 to 9, I'm at the gym with my wife at the home gym. From 9 onwards, I'm with my team, helping my clients and doing deep work and so forth. My time block I made out beforehand. That's one thing. Block out your whole day before you go to bed at nighttime. Number two, so time blocking, that's those things. So one, do before bed. And then, more importantly, this is the most important one here. When you time block, keep yourself in check. Because what I've learned after coaching thousands of agents and entrepreneurs around the world, that the most difficult thing to do is to be accountable for our own selves. It's very hard to be accountable for ourselves. You're a boss, it's easy. Because like, hey, if I'm wrong, I'm gonna be in trouble or fired or so forth. If you're a kid and they do the wrong thing, they're accountable to the parent. Accountability is really hard for ourselves because hey, if I miss it, who cares? Like just me, no one knows. Right? But this is how we do it instead. I have on my time blocking my plan on one side, and on the other side of this, I have my reality. What actually happened? And when I see this in live time on my calendar, on my notebook, on my iPad, I'm more accountable now. Like, oh, wow, I messed up here, and I now acknowledge this. So let's say my plan is to go live on Elite Ed Podcast, which is right now, at 3 o'clock. But instead, I watch Netflix. My plan did not match my reality anymore. So I make sure if I do this too often, I can keep track of that. So when we're doing activities, I need a time block it to be actual real. Also, let's say I plan was to go live at 3 o'clock with you guys, but instead I went live, but also, so let's say I did half my plan. Half my plan was I went live, that happened, but I also texted on my phone. Then I can see in live time why was my task not as good as it could be. And a lot of people know how to do two tasks at once. They'll watch TV and do work. They will text people and also work on something else. They will listen to audiobooks and also try to do a live. Who knows? People do a lot of things though every single day. They cross back and forth. It makes it super impossible for us to stay on track. There's a book, I can find it, called Deep Work. That's really, really good. This is all about focus. I can't see it. When you look up Deep Work by Cal Newport, it's really, really good. That book breaks down all this and more. But I have more stuff for you guys as well before we hop off this live ed podcast for you guys. Again, don't have to jump back and forth. If you're time blocking your schedule, have it just be that one activity, nothing else. Even for me, listening to music sometimes is too much. If I listen to music while I work, it has to be a mindless activity that I'm doing, or two, it has to be like classical music. So I go back and forth. It's really easy for me to do that because then I'm really dialed in, and this music helps support my brain activities. So there's no distractions, no phone, just execution. That's number 2, is time blocking. So, again, if you always do, 1 is detox. 2 is time blocking. And then number 3 is my space. Not MySpace, like the old app, if it was old enough to know that, like Facebook before Facebook, but it's going to be your personal environment. What is your environment right now? That is to me number 3. The best place to focus is to make your setting that you're in focus proof. If I have on my apps, my computer screens in, and no news feed, I can focus more. If I go to Facebook on my account, okay, I can show you right now, I'm on a live platform. So right now, let's see, if I go live and I show you my screen on Facebook. This is my timeline. So my timeline is nothing. All I can see is some quote that says Sunday, not day of the week. I can come over here and see notifications. I can go to my own profile account, look up my stuff, but I cannot see my timeline. I have a blocker on them. So again, my environment is 2 parts. One environment you have will be your physical space. And number 2 will be your digital space. Because what we live in now is not just physical. AI is taking over. Social media's already been here. So is the internet. We are now in a digital space. So you got to plan accordingly. I need 2 spaces to be clear. One space I have is my Facebook account. I can't access anything. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable. So I come here, I bounce off super quickly because nothing to look at. So that's number 1. It's going to be my space here. From there, I then move over to my physical space. The environment one is easy. I have blockers on for Facebook, for YouTube, for Instagram. I have screens in on my computer. So if I go to any app, I have to wait 30 minutes or 30 seconds to go on there. And then from there, it kicks me off after 5 minutes. So my screen environment or digital environment is easy to maintain. My next one, though, is physical. So for me, if you come to my office, my desk has obviously all these stacks of money to remind me what we're doing. And hope you guys have more success in your own business as well. But also, I have a clock, my lights, and 2 screens. That's all I have here. There's nothing else here. In my phone, more often than not, I have either it's off to the side or face down or not in my exact desk. So focusing is really easy for me. Again, you can ask my client success manager who's with us, Jamie. I literally just sit here all day long on my computer screen and back and forth from either one screen at a time, activity I'm doing, I'm looking at just one screen, not 2 screens back and forth. Unless I'm doing data entry from one page to another page. I'm looking at homes for my clients, one page to another page. But if I'm writing my book or doing for my clients, I'm on one thing only. This is why it's so important to have a clean physical space and clean digital space. These 2 things combined will give you a huge leg up that will help you outperform 99% of people in the world. At least 95 for sure. So space is number 3. This is physical and also digital spaces, not just one or the other. So it's really important to do this. Oh, I found my book. So this is a book that you should actually read by Deep Work, Cal Newport. Really, really good. And for example here, again, my team, most of my clients I have came from social media. And I still don't use it. Just for clarity there. For those like, man, I have a business. I cannot not be on social media. Yeah, you can. Like I done $1.6 billion in transactions in real estate. And I hardly use social media. On my phone, it's hard to get to. Or at the very least, you can outsource somebody else to do it for you. Again, on this podcast, I know most of you guys here and most of you ladies as well are entrepreneurs to some degree. Some of you are not. The Cal Newport is really, really good. This book really will help you have more focus moving forward. Called Deep Work. He has 2 books, and this guy, he has millions and millions of followers across the world, and even for myself included. On my Instagram account alone, I probably reached 10 million people in the past like 5 months or less. Probably a couple million people I meet probably reach a month, honestly, on Instagram. So I reach a lot of people, and I'm not on there that often. So you can have massive success without being on there all the time. So who here is ready for this challenge? Who's here is going to try to do a detox for 24 hours? Down below, do hashtag detox, hashtag detox. You're going to try this out for yourself. Again, I think at the end of the day, I've spent $60,000 before in the past for coaches and mentors on a 1-year program. Like literally 1 year, spent $60,000 looking for a magic pill, for a magic formula, to some strategy to help me get more success in my business as fast as possible. And that learn stuff, of course. I learned so many things in that program. And I've spent multiple 6 figures probably in the past few years doing businesses. From coaches, books, mentors, courses, you name it. I've spent 6+ figures, if not way, way more than that, honestly, on these different strategies. But here's the thing that makes the most amount of difference. More than anything else in the whole world, the big, big secret to having success in life is number 4. Is focus. That is the magic formula. If you are working at your job and you turn off Netflix while you're working, or you stop talking as much to your colleagues while you're working, I can guarantee you'll do 2 times more, if not way more than that, in the business. If you implement time blocking as an entrepreneur in your business, I can guarantee you will do more activities by one little thing. Because focus really all it takes. If I can do focus on more activities, my output is way more greater. This is why some people in the world, like one of my mentors that I learned from a lot, like Dan Martell, he works like an hour or 2 a day, and he's worth $100+ million. Like money is in the bank. Like he probably worth closer to like $500 million, if not way, way more, because when he works, he's focused on one thing only and nothing else. And right now, I'm on this live. Someone called me, and I put it on silent. I didn't look at it because I'm focused on this one thing only and nothing else. So focus is your superpower. It's really easy to do. Just find those things that are distracting you from your activity. Have a clean desk. Remove social media. Remove notifications. Have a time block that you use to use social media. I have a block of my time that I look on social media for 10, 20 minutes. And after that, I'm off for the rest of the day. And this is honestly the easiest way to get massive success in your business. When I have more focus from detox number 1, number 2 is time blocking, having my space in a clear environment, and it's focusing on one thing at a time, you will have more success. I can guarantee it to you. Again, I grew up in poverty, poorer than poor, slept on floors and benches, couch surfed my friends' homes, and had no direction. Nothing was working for me. And all that changed when I got focused on my life and my activities. I'm a best-selling author. I make pretty good money that I can buy what I want to. Now I think about it from Rolexes and watches and cars and Porsches and so forth. All these things I have now. And all that happened because I just focused on one thing. This is part of focus. I focus on real estate. I help my clients buy and sell houses. I'm one of the best agents in the world at doing this because I only read books about that. I watch videos about that. I learn skills about that. I'm hyper focused on one thing. Now I have my good detoxes in place. I time block. My space is clean. Do those 4 things and guarantee you a massive success in your business as well, in your life. Again, thanks for watching Elite Edge Podcast, where top players go become world class. I break down things with myself and other guests who are also world class people themselves, from entrepreneurship, real estate, marketing, psychology, of course, focus, so much more. I love these topics. I hope you guys have more success in the businesses to buy more real estate as an asset, help you protect your funds or sell home to use that as well. But always, thanks for watching. Here's to having the best 2025 in year yet. Have good focus. Talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.